Welcome back to Insert Brain here, a Simpsons podcast. I'm your host, David, and with me, as always, is my co-host, Connor.
Hello.
Today, we're going to be talking about Season 1, Episode 10, Homer's Night Out. And the original air date for that was 25th of March, 1990.
That's correct.
So, Connor, what was the plot of this episode?
I'll run through the plot for you, of course.
Yeah.
Homer's Night Out focuses on Homer, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
Homer goes out for a work outing with the boys from work to celebrate his former assistant.
Yeah, it's warm.
When you hooking up your trousers for like you're ready to get on a pirate ship. 3/4 lengths.
It's because it's hot.
His former assistant turned supervisor is now getting married.
Yep.
So he goes to the bachelor party.
Yeah, like a stag do, bachelor party.
And ends up dancing with Princess Cashmere by happenstance in the same restaurant, the Rusty Clam. What's it called?
Yeah. I want it to be called the Rusty Clam. I don't even know what it's called.
It's called the Frying Dutchman. I think I was thinking of the bar from Family Guy.
Oh yeah, that's the clam.
Barnacle.
No, it's the clam.
So I wasn't thinking of that at all. I was making something up.
You said the Rusty Clam before.
Oh, did I? I thought I said the Krusty Barnacle.
Yeah, you said that afterwards.
That might be a SpongeBob thing.
Yeah, probably. But anyway, back to The Simpsons.
You'll find out about this on our SpongeBob podcast. Too Many Holes.
Why not?
Our SpongeBob SquarePants podcast.
All wrung out.
All wrung out with too many holes. We found out how thick SpongeBob is. Talk about SpongeBob's thick little yellow spongy ass cheeks.
What about Patrick and those cheeks?
Sandy, her name is literally Sandy Cheeks because I'd fuck that squirrel. Anyway, Homer happens to be at this bachelor party at the Frying Dutchman, and it just so happens by happenstance that Marge, Bart, Lisa, and Maggie are at the same restaurant the same night, having a little dinner to themselves.
Yeah.
Bart excuses himself from his disgusting squid meal.
Yeah. That he ordered.
And he sees Homer dancing on the table with belly dancer Princess Cashmere.
Mm.
And he pulls out his little spy camera that he ordered at the beginning of the episode.
Mm-hmm.
He snaps a photo of Homer, and through Bart passing it on to Milhouse and other school children and them getting it to their parents, and it spreads throughout the town and becomes the talk of the town. Eventually Marge finds out and she's furious at Homer, not just because he would dance with a belly dancer at a bachelor party, which he says was going to be not a bachelor party, but that he would do it in front of Bart.
Mm-hmm.
So Marge kicks Homer out for a period of time. He goes to live with Barney, and then in order to get back into Marge's good graces, she says he should take young Bart to meet Princess Cashmere and show him that she is a real person.
Not an object.
Not an object. Yeah. She has thoughts and feelings, because apparently women do have those.
Some of them.
I was not aware of this prior to the recording of this episode.
It was an enlightening episode.
Women not being objects, that was news to me.
It was indeed.
That's about the plot of the episode. And then Homer...
Cancelled, mate. Cancelled.
Homer goes up on stage.
Yeah.
And he gives a big speech about women aren't just objects. They're your sisters and your nieces and your mothers.
And your nephews.
And then Marge forgives him.
Yeah.
And that is the general gist of the episode.
A lot more concise than I usually am with my fucking rantings.
I think I got through that in less than 5 minutes.
Yeah. Which is shorter than it took me for the intro. Yeah. Yeah, it was like the 7th take.
Yeah. Ion Springfield.
That's the one.
First appearance of the aforementioned Princess Cashmere.
I know who that is.
The belly dancer in the episode. She's become kind of a famous Simpsons character since then. You see her in the early days, kind of 90s Simpsons, whenever they would do a big collage of all the Simpsons characters, everyone in Springfield, the entire town, they always included Princess Cashmere.
Right.
She doesn't really have any major appearances that I can recall after this episode.
Huh.
She does show up periodically
Yeah.
throughout the show, but it's also strange because she's not voiced by someone who is no longer on the show.
Yes.
She's not voiced by a special guest star, because that sometimes happens if you get a big name actor in to voice a character. They can't show up every single episode.
Yes, exactly.
A lot to get the actors back. So it's a bit of a mystery as to why Princess Cashmere never really took off. Or did take off, but didn't really get used frequently in the show.
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of odd, that one.
I guess what stories can you do with a belly dancer character?
Other than the one they've just done, not very much, to be fair.
Aye.
But yeah, another first appearance.
Yeah. The first appearance of Carl.
Right, yes.
You noticed that Carl was in the episode?
Yeah, I noticed he was in the episode.
He's with Lenny as well, as
not
with Lenny as such as he is in future episodes where they get kind of bound together.
Best pals, yeah.
Yeah, from this in the future of the show they become kind of best friends. Carl's voice is wrong here. He's speaking essentially with Lenny's voice.
Yeah, I think so. I didn't quite notice until you pointed it out. I was more looking at like other things in the scene, but after you pointed it out, I did really notice it wasn't quite right. It's very similar to Lenny's voice, if it isn't the exact same, though.
It was maybe a different voice actor in this episode to who it usually is. I feel like Carl is usually Harry Shearer.
Right, yeah.
Hank Azaria, is usually the voice of Carl.
Right.
And I feel like in this episode it might have been someone else.
Right. Although, again, it is season 1, so it could just be the sort of teasing of the voices. You know,
Harry Shearer voices Lenny.
Right.
So there is a chance that Harry Shearer voiced Carl in this episode.
Maybe.
But it's usually Hank Azaria going forward.
Right.
Until recently, obviously.
Yes, aye.
First appearance of female mail carrier.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
The female
parcel
woman that Bart badgers constantly for six
months straight
to get his spy camera.
Yeah.
Where's my spy camera? Where's my spy camera?
Yeah.
I'm sure she does show up again, but
she looks like she would snap him.
Yeah, like she would kill him.
Yeah. I don't think she'd. By the look of her character, I do not think she would have lasted 6 months without snapping his neck. I really don't think so. 6 months day in, day out, you've got that going on.
Do they deliver mail on Sundays in America?
In the 90s? I don't think so. I'm not sure.
Is it only 6 days a week for 6 months, right?
Still, 6 days a week for 6 months. I think you've got... I might be wrong. I don't really know much about American postal services other than... I think it's called The Postman? With
Kevin Costner.
Kevin Costner, yeah.
I haven't seen that movie.
That's the only sort of postal references I've got, and that is like Civil War, I think.
Yeah, I'm drawing on the famous postal service based movie.
Waiting. I'm fucking waiting.
Jingle All the Way.
Right. Jingle All the Way. I'm not even going to lie. I thought you were going to go with something like...
Postal.
Yeah.
That would have been a funnier joke, but no, I'm really drawing on Jingle All the Way.
Right.
Because one of this character that Sinbad plays in that movie is a postal worker. And Newman from Seinfeld is a postal worker. And
yeah.
There's a character in this episode who is drawn Wayne Knight.
Yes, yeah.
He speaks to, I want to say Lenny at the bachelor party.
Yes, that's when Bart... No.
It's just before Princess Cashmere gets brought in.
Yeah, because that's...
Because they're all milling around.
The guy comes in to tell them to quieten down after Marge asks them to do that.
Yes, the waiter.
That's it, yes. Yeah. There we go.
First appearance of Gulliver Dark.
You're sitting back in that chair waiting for me to tell you who the fuck this guy is. Gulliver Dark.
Take a stab in the Gulliver Dark.
Is he the singer?
Yes, he is the singer.
Nice.
He's the lounge singer.
Fucking finally. One out
Previous
of
episode I've been like, who's Maggie? And you're like, don't know, mate. Couldn't tell you for the love of
Could be the one with the saxophone.
Oliver Dark is the lounge singer, who is
Right.
voiced by Samuel McMurray.
All right.
He's a 90s TV American actor, best
Yeah.
known for roles in Freaks and Geeks,
Mhm.
Dinosaurs,
Right.
the TV show,
Yeah,
not really.
yeah.
King of Queens, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
There you go.
Fair enough. Pretty cool. I like his little line in the end after the speech.
Where he talks about his mother being sad.
Yeah.
I need to go call my mother. Thus concludes our famous segment, Eye on Springfield.
Yay.
Da, 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 da. Da, 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 da. Da, 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 da. Da, 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 da. Da, 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 da. That's really good padding for the episode. It's doing that theme song twice.
Yeah.
And drawing it out as much as you can.
Perfect.
Or as much as I can, because
Yeah,
I'm
Oh, yeah. I'm
playing
not
it from my phone.
Yeah.
Because I'm editing it in after the fact, because it's a professionally recorded song.
Of course. It'll be released on iTunes in...
It's on Spotify right now. If you want to find that song, go on your parents' computer and Google gay porn.
Or Blue Waffle. It comes up either way.
Google Lemon Party and hit the I'm Feeling Lucky button, which I don't think exists anymore.
For very good reason.
I don't think has existed for more than a decade.
Probably.
Oh, so what did you think of this episode?
I quite liked it. I thought it was pretty good. I preferred this sort of marital spat, I guess.
Yeah.
Marital spat episode. Because obviously the last one, it was focused on Marge being in the wrong. But there was no comeuppance.
Yeah.
For Marge or the guy.
I guess Homer was in the wrong in the previous one as well.
True, yes. Yeah. We talked about that in the last episode as well.
Yeah.
But largely the story-centric, other than like the main part of the story was that Marge was kind of in the wrong-ish for allowing this to continue. And so was Jack and so was Homer, but still. Jock, Jack, whatever.
In case the audience are confused about the character name of Jack that they've never seen or heard of before.
Whatever his fucking name is. But I preferred this one because of the fact that it wasn't just because it was Homer in the wrong. Although he kind of was and wasn't. He should have told Marge that it was a bachelor party that he was going to.
Yeah.
It's not like he was getting a lap dance.
Yeah.
Or anything like that. You know, he was just dancing on a table next to her. Yeah, he shoved a dollar bill or whatever it was in her.
That also wasn't
underwear.
captured in the photograph.
Exactly. It was not. But the fucking poshest way you've ever said photograph in my life.
That coffee's hit me like a ton of bricks.
I can tell.
I'm hyped up and ready to record an episode of Insert Brain here, a Simpsons podcast.
Perfect. But I like the fact that there was actually consequences for it, though.
I wonder if the plan was originally to have Kashmir be a stripper.
Maybe.
The switch to belly dancer feels very censor enforced.
It does, actually. It's a good point, because I don't think I've ever thought of any belly dancer turning up at a bachelor
like
party.
It's something you would have on stage.
Although, to be fair, getting a stripper into like a restaurant.
It is in their private room, though.
Even in a private room at a restaurant.
And it's the Frying Dutchman. It's not exactly a 5-star joint.
True. It's also America in the 90s, so you never know what could be possible.
Yeah, late 80s, early 90s as well.
That's true, yeah. So, yeah, that could have been a possibility there. But largely speaking, when I'm thinking about a bachelor party or a stag do or whatever you want to call it, yeah, you stereotypically sort of think of strippers more often than...
Yeah, there's the iconic kind of imagery of the stripper hiding in the cake.
Yeah.
I wonder how many strippers have been cooked alive by doing that.
I'm sure I've heard of a stripper dying. Not by being cooked.
Suffocation.
But suffocation.
Anyway, yeah, I feel like it might have been...
fucking depressing.
Yeah, let's bring them.
We've got another podcast
down.
about that too. Connor will tell you the title.
Delicious Disasters. Asphyxiation.
I couldn't hope for better, mate. I couldn't hope for better.
Delicious disasters, asphyxiation, and Americana. A podcast where we talk about delicious cakes, dead strippers, and prostitutes, and the times when the two meet.
Perfect. Oh, fucking hell. This is why I'm here.
Flying by the seat of my fucking pants for that one.
This is why I'm here. Clearly, anyone listening to this knows I know nothing about The Simpsons. So this is why I'm here.
I love The Simpsons.
I love The Simpsons too, but fucking hell, this is the real reason I'm here. All our other podcasts, that's why.
Yeah.
There's a job lot for this one.
I would say that I preferred the previous episode. Might as well compare them of in this segment because they're both marital crisis episodes.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like this episode feels a lot less reasonable. The falling out between Homer and Marge feels a lot more forced.
It does, yeah.
And a bit more contrived. I get why she would be angry at him.
I feel like you're definitely right in that. And I think that could be down to the fact that it might have been a stripper at one point.
Yeah, maybe.
And I feel like they might have censored / changed that into a belly dancer and him with a picture near the belly dancer. And also, you're right, because the dancing next to a belly dancer or a stripper, right next to them, not even right next to them, near them on the table.
Maybe even if you had Marge be kind of annoyed, but not really, just kind of unsure of how she feels about it. And then when she finds out that Bart took the photo, that's when she becomes irate. Yeah. But she's upset from the get-go.
Yeah, he walks into a fucking picture slapped into his face when he opens the door.
I do love all the stuff about the image circulating around.
That's great.
That's maybe the best part of the episode.
Yeah.
I love the gag where Homer's depressed at the bar because he's been kicked out, and he's like, because of some stupid photo, and Mo goes, "You mean this picture?" And he has it framed.
Yeah. Doesn't he have it signed? Did I see his signature?
I want to say that he does. I want to believe he got it signed by, I assume, Princess Cashmere.
Must be.
Because Homer didn't know about it.
That's true.
I really wish that was something that they'd carried over. Every time you're in Moe's Tavern.
Yeah, you see that
signed photo at the back.
Yeah.
That would have been
pretty
a good running joke.
Yeah.
Little callback.
Exactly.
I think I preferred how reasonable the previous episode was, and I also found Jacques is a much more interesting and funny character than Princess Cashmere.
Oh, without a doubt. Yeah.
Princess Cashmere essentially disappears from the episode entirely.
Until the very end.
She shows up at the very end, and even then she's got like 2 lines.
Yeah, aye. Most of those lines are, "Get out of my cage, my boss will be angry."
Yeah. What does she say? Homer asks her to tell Bart about herself, and she says her turn-ons, silk sheets and a warm fireplace.
Yeah, she says my turn-offs are aggressive people or something like that, or aggressive customers or something. And her turn-ons are... This sounds really like she was a stripper.
Or a call girl.
Or like an escort, yeah. She really didn't sound like it was...
Or a kissogram, maybe?
Maybe.
Anything sounds more realistic than a belly dancer.
Definitely seems like it was changed. Because that would make more sense for her to be pissed. Like Marge to be pissed off.
Yeah.
If you're up there flirting, finagling with a stripper, that's a whole nother...
Or an escort.
Or an escort, especially.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a lot more concerning
Can
marriage-wise.
we talk a bit about Homer's assistant turned supervisor?
I love that.
Him and his dad. It was the story the dad tells where his son got him a present for his birthday when he was 7 years old.
Yeah.
And it was the son's baseball mitt, and it was the most important thing in him. The most important thing in the world to the boy.
Yeah.
And when he gives his son away to be married to this woman, you'll know how his son felt in that moment. And we're like, what a fucking loser.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think he says, what am I on planet
Something or
Coochie
other.
or whatever.
Yeah, I don't remember what the fuck. Planet Coochie, did he say?
I meant Planet Cooties.
Right, yeah. I think that is actually what he said.
I
Yeah.
think it's something else. Planet something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I just
And
love
then,
the gag at the start, the 6 months later, he's
Yeah.
now his assistant.
He's talking about he spiked the punch and got his assistant drunk, and his assistant embarrassed himself by talking to the new girl who's
the new
in
girl Valve maintenance.
Valve maintenance.
Yeah.
And he jokes to Marge that she's actually interested in him being Homer.
Yeah.
Which is a nice setup for
Yeah.
later on in the episode.
Six months later, they're getting married.
They're getting married, and that guy has been promoted to supervisor, to Homer's supervisor.
Yep. Oh, man. To be fair, that wouldn't take long, would it, working with Homer?
No, it would not.
Well, if we're still comparing between that and the last episode, I think...
And usually we don't really like to do that.
Yeah.
But I feel like this is a fair comparison to make.
Yeah. I still feel like overall the last episode might actually be a better episode now that I properly think about it, because I loved that dream sequence.
Yeah,
that was too
there's
good. There's
nothing that stands out in this episode like that dream sequence.
No.
I do like the
what I would
room.
say is this entire episode, the way it is and the way it kind of feels, maybe not the way it's animated. It's not bad, but it's one of the better ones overall, I think. But
yeah, I'd say so.
Like, it's not got amazing pieces or segments in it, but I think the animation is overall one of the better ones in season 1.
Yeah, I'd say so, yeah. It's definitely an improvement.
Yeah, definitely over a few. But I think this might have been one of the ones that wasn't rehashed, other than maybe the story at the start with her being a stripper / whatever else.
Yeah, that might have been caught at the writing phase, though.
Maybe.
I think I might have something about that in trivia.
Maybe. Well, we'll find out.
We'll find out soon
enough.
Yeah.
But I think that I think the other one was just so good with that dream sequence. Where was I going with the episode on this one, the animation? Oh yes, the story itself. I think sort of the way it felt. That episode felt a little bit like season 2 or 3.
The previous episode,
the one we've just watched. Yeah,
this one just now, Princess Cashmere one. Homer's
Yeah. I felt like that one. So when I'm thinking about it, I never think of season 1 when I think of this episode.
Really?
Yeah. And it's not really because of the animation. Like I said, it's one of the better ones, but it's not
still
like
not
amazing.
Quite as good as the rest.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But I never really, I think my memory of it just sort of glosses over some of the other parts, like say the bar.
I felt the same way about the Telltale Head.
Yes,
it's one of those episodes that you
think we discussed that, I think, in that one. But I think I never really remember that as season 1 when I think about it. But yeah, I would say that overall, definitely the previous episode was better, and like you said, more reasonable.
I think maybe this episode suffers because it's a marriage crisis episode that comes directly after a marriage crisis episode.
Yes.
Watching the two back to back, you have a story where Marge almost cheats on Homer.
Mm-hmm.
And then the next week or the next episode, Marge becomes irate with Homer because he's dancing with a belly dancer.
Maybe because he's dancing with a belly dancer. She starts thinking about what she almost did with Jack, whatever his name is. Mr. Brunswick.
Yes.
Which
is not a French last name. I meant to mention that last week.
What?
That is not a French last name.
No,
Brunswick.
It's not. Brunswick is not.
Carry on.
But there's a little tidbit from last week that no one got then. But yeah, I mean it's not something they'll have written in intentionally. I don't think that could explain it though. When you think about it chronologically,
maybe there's a chance that this episode and the previous episode originally, had they had the original release schedule, wouldn't have fallen right next to each other.
I don't think they probably would have. No,
I don't know that for certain, but that's kind of a guess.
I would guess that it would be a bad idea to do 2 marriage episodes, one after the other.
Yeah.
Because it seems like a really silly way of organizing the thing. But hey, it is what it is. The previous episode got an Emmy, didn't it?
Yes, and this episode did not.
So
I like
obviously,
your theory though that this is like Marge's jealousy is almost subconsciously because she knows that she was so close to betraying Homer that she feels a sense of guilt.
Yeah, Usually, I mean, not always the case, but a lot of times the first person to point the finger is because they're the one in the wrong. Yeah, so it could be the sort of playing our conscience that she was thinking that she was so close that maybe he's doing something. Also, there could be the embarrassment of it as well.
It was
Because
Marge's affair, aside from the Helen Lovejoy spotting them, was very private.
Yeah.
Whereas Homer's photo went the 1990 equivalent of viral.
Yeah, exactly. And she got it in her yoga dance class, whatever
Zumba type class, whatever it is.
Yeah, whatever it would have been. Aerobics, probably.
Yeah.
Class pinned up on the wall as an advertisement saying about summer bodies coming.
Yeah, get your summer body ready. Don't be fat like Homer.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah. 3 fat ladies are laughing at it.
Yes, exactly. Exactly, yeah.
Speaking of the number 3, I think we should jump into 3 Blind Mice trivia.
Perfect. Very good. We should.
Excited for 3 Blind Mice trivia?
I am always excited for 3 Blind Mice trivia.
Let's do 3 Blind Mice
That is the first time I've said that without tripping up.
Hell yeah, 3 blind mice. 3 blind mice.
Yes.
See their trivia.
Watch how we dribble. I don't know. I don't know. This is why you make up shit and I don't.
The Fox censors at the time didn't want Princess Cashmere to be a straight-up bachelor party stripper.
And here we fucking have it.
As the show was courting controversy for being subversive, and due to Bart being a protagonist, a lot of people thought that it was exclusively a kids' show. So they made Princess Cashmere a professional belly dancer who performed at bachelor parties. Though she does tell Bart that she works at strip clubs under the name April Flowers.
Right. When did she tell him that?
When Homer asks her to...
Oh, yeah, when you ask her a little bit about herself.
Yeah.
Right.
And multiple of the places that they look for, it's like Foxy Boxing, female mud
like
wrestling,
mud, whatever it was.
One of them is like a strip club, so it's
and it's to the point where Homer yells at Bart, telling him, "I told you to look at the ground."
Yeah.
So whatever that mud one was, it was probably naked mud wrestling, I would imagine. So yeah, it's not something that. That definitely feels like it would have been a much more believable episode.
Yeah.
For the way that things like escalated. But you could still, as we just have, you can explain it away with the embarrassment and Marge's sort of guilt from the previous episode. Also,
animated show in 1990. This was considered pushing the envelope.
Yeah.
Very far.
Yeah, at the time.
You look at like 10, 20, 30 years later and it shows like Rick and Morty and Family Guy and American Dad and Bob's Burgers that are
much worse.
Much worse. And Archer as well.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Bloody hell.
Bart's piggy bank is glued together because Homer smashed it in episode 3.
Yes. Yeah. I noticed that too. I thought it was great.
And then Bart smashes it again.
Yes, he does.
The staff of the show went around Hollywood taking photos of strip clubs so they could get inspiration for the design of the interiors of the strip club buildings in Springfield.
Sure, they did. Just take some photos of the strip club.
They didn't. They
didn't sit there for a while.
They didn't need any inspiration for the interior of the church, the interior of Moe's Tavern,
or the interior of an average house in the 80s.
No,
none of that.
They needed inspiration just for the strip clubs that appear on screen for about 5 seconds apiece.
That's the one. Most of them don't even appear in the interior.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In this episode, Lenny's voice is provided by Hank Azaria and Carl's voice is provided by Harry Shearer. For the rest of the series, it would be the other way around.
Right.
I fucking called it.
You did.
Maybe subconsciously I knew because I wrote this trivia.
Maybe. That might have something to do with it.
The photo lab scene was animated in real colour with a red gel placed over it afterwards.
That's cool.
I loved that scene. I
like that. Yeah, it was good.
Yeah.
I like that. I like the fact that it was... I didn't see him dip it a second or third time.
What?
With the photo, when he was processing the photo.
Yes.
But I did like the fact that they had the trays there, and it seemed like it was like a fairly knowledgeable setup for it. So
It
I
seemed
quite
like a
like that.
real photo
Yeah,
clip.
yeah, it did. And I
It
quite
was
like that.
quite a big deal at the time to animate a scene that looked like a darkroom, you know?
One of the things that I kind of liked was the fact that in that dark room,
Yes.
they all had their cameras. And I think 2 of those cameras might have been digital.
Mate, it's 1990.
They had fucking big digital looking bodies on
There
them.
are no digital cameras. It's
Seriously?
1989.
None.
Not in an elementary school. And even then, digital cameras didn't start coming in until like for filming things until
No, not for filming.
for taking. No, I don't think they would have had digital cameras. Not in 1989.
You sure? I might be wrong on this. I'm probably wrong on this. This guy's a photographer.
Not anymore, baby. I'm a podcaster now.
Aye.
The world's very first digital camera was in 1988. Let me show you what it looked like, mate.
What the fucking hell? Aye, you're right enough. That's quite the bulk. So okay, fair enough.
Don't worry, they have
Never mind.
smartphones in The Simpsons in the current season. You say, "Ow my ass"?
Yeah, I'm sitting on a flat metal chair.
There is some padding.
It's a small, thin bit of pretend leather.
The town's reaction to Homer's scandalous photo was partially inspired by the reactions to Rob Lowe's sex tape.
Wait, repeat that. What?
The reactions that the townspeople have to Homer's scandalous photo was partially inspired by Rob Lowe's sex tape.
Huh. Awesome.
Do you not know about Rob Lowe's sex tape?
I've probably noticed it in the past.
Man, I'm going to tell you something about Rob Lowe's sex tape. Let me make sure I'm right about this before I tell you.
Okay.
You will not have seen Rob Lowe's sex tape.
Okay.
Because Rob Lowe videotaped himself having sex with a 16-year-old girl.
Okay,
He was 24 at the time.
No, I will not. I did not know that.
There you go.
Fucking hell.
It was a big deal in 1988.
Aye.
Crazy stuff.
Although, not legal to record here in the UK, just to point out, but it is legal for consensual sex at 16 in the UK.
Aye.
I can't remember. I'm pretty sure it's not legal for consensual sex in America or most of America at 16.
No, it's not. No,
it's 18.
Definitely not. It's 18, I think, in some parts, maybe even 21.
I'm not sure. Probably is, but I'm not sure about that. I couldn't say for certain. I know 21's the drinking age for most states, if not all, in America. But yeah, it's still, either way, it's a crime because of the recording in the UK.
Anyway.
Yeah.
The song sung during the production number at the end, I Could Love a Million Girls, is the same song that was performed on the 25th of June 1906 when Harry Thaw shot and killed Stanford White on the rooftop restaurant of the old Madison Square Garden in New York City.
Huh. Fair enough.
Barney's apartment, which we didn't talk about. We'll talk about it after trivia.
Yeah, I've lived there.
Barney's apartment is based on an apartment a few of the animators shared when they were in college.
Wow.
Yeah.
I like those cinder blocks. That cinder block shelf, that's good.
I'll tell the children there will be no hospital. That's a Simpsons reference.
Yeah. There were cinder blocks missing, didn't they? Yeah.
If you listen closely, you can hear a guy yell, "Bless the wives," in the background during Homer's speech at the end of the show.
All right. Cool.
I didn't hear that.
I did not hear that.
It's a 3 Blind Mice trivia fact if ever I've heard one.
That's the one. Questionable. Probably not true.
I believe Matt Groening once said in an interview that Bart Simpson was inspired by the Diane Arbus photograph of the young boy holding a toy grenade in Central Park. Despite this not being true,
right.
The boy in the photograph, having since grown up, wrote a letter to the show saying how much he appreciated it and also letting them know that he grew up to be a very well-adjusted person.
Fair enough.
There was a scene cut from the episode where Homer's picture makes it all the way to Japan.
All right.
Barney has a Humphrey Bogart poster in his apartment.
Right, yeah.
Over 50 international showgirls were designed for the episode, and only 4 appear.
Fucking hell. There's more than 4 in there. So it's just rinse and repeat.
Yeah.
Admittedly, I did not actually notice that there was only 4 styles of showgirl. But I wasn't looking at all of their faces. I was watching The Simpsons scene. I was watching Homer falling down the stairs or whatever.
I think they mean they designed 50 different country versions.
Oh, right, yes, of course.
Because he starts the song
thing.
and then he starts it again.
Yeah, because it's Chinese,
Swede, Eskimo, Norwegian or a Swede or something.
I don't know if we saw that one.
Finland, that's it.
Yeah, there was I don't know if we saw that one though. And there was a brown curly haired girl. Or something like that, or brown haired curly. Something.
God only knows.
Something like that. It was like brown curly hair, and she was in the scene for all of about half of a fucking second.
That is the end.
Yes,
of 3 blind mice trivia.
That's the one
for which there is no theme.
Not yet.
What?
Yet.
All right, yet. I thought you were going to lean in and invent a theme on the spot.
No, not a chance. Not a chance.
Anyway, any goofs you noticed?
Goofs, I
noticed. Anything for our famous segment? Boy, I sure hope someone got fired for that blunder, where we look at the errors and goofs in the episode. I'm sure you did at least.
I'm sure I did at least one.
I have one.
Okay, you run.
The printer says 5 cents to print.
I did point
on the
that
side.
Yeah, yeah.
And then at the little coin slot it says
10 cents.
10 cents.
Yeah, you can only put that in.
A note here.
All right, cool. But yeah, that it's 5 cents a print, but 10 cents every time you want to print one thing.
The photograph that Marge gets from her Zumba class has writing on it about the summer
when she
body.
rips it down, yeah.
And then when she shows it to Homer, that writing is gone.
Yes. Yeah. And there's a big circle on it, circling Homer's stomach.
Yeah. There's,
maybe that's not there when Homer gets it slapped in his face.
No, it is not.
I don't think there was anything else that I can think of.
Then that's enough of that.
Yeah, that's enough of that.
2 things in that segment that sometimes doesn't exist. My God.
Perfect.
Anything else you need to add?
I can't. Well, Barney's apartment.
Right, we were talking about Barney's lovely
that.
apartment.
Yes, a beautiful piece of artwork.
You've lived in that more than once.
I have lived in essentially that exact apartment.
And I've been in that
multiple houses.
In multiple different locations.
Yes. And you had the unfortunate experience of being there too.
Aye. Spending many a night sleeping among the fast food wrappers and stray ping pong balls on the floor and the mold and the dirt and the rats.
Perfect. That's the one.
Wonderful stuff.
It's good times. Good times.
Aye.
Hey, it is what it is. It's not that bad an apartment.
El Dorado.
I think mine might have been dirtier at one point. At one point, it might have been.
You at least didn't have a pull-out couch. You just had a.
No, I did not.
You just had a chair.
I had a chair. It was like a lounger,
a lazy boy kind of recliner.
Yeah. And I just reclined it fully and slept on that. And you had the love seat,
the love
sofa.
Seat with the high ends. So
it had high, and it was right angle, rectangular ends.
Curl up in a ball.
And you're not short.
No.
So that is not fun.
All right, I think we can wrap things up.
Awesome. All right, well, thanks for being here. This has been Insert Brain here, a Simpsons podcast, a T for 22 production.
Yes, a T for 22 production.
And
I've been David. I've been Connor.
Yeah. And have a good one.
Smell you later.
That's the one. Scratch and sniff. Is it?